I am pleased to now introduce the faculty speaker, Dr. Jaclyn Gambone, Professor of Education. Selected by the Student Government Association to give the faculty address, Dr. Gambone was the winner of the 2018-2019 Teaching Excellence of the Year Award and one of the 2018 John and Sue Ann Roush Excellence Award recipients. She is an inspiration to many and a valued colleague on our campus. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gambone.
Good evening. My face hurts from smiling. Smiling at all of you and your family, and everybody was just, that was wonderful. And Ember, wow. Okay, let's make sure these are in order here. Thank you, Dr. Lindsay, for that introduction. Good evening, honored guests, fellow colleagues, faculty, and staff, family and friends of the graduates, and just so I don't leave anyone out, good evening to everyone in this room. And I would especially like to offer a good evening and welcome to the graduates of the class of 2019. It was such an honor to be asked to speak at your graduation tonight. And when I contemplated what on earth I would say, I immediately thought about when I was in your seats, waiting to cross the stage to earn my diploma. I had dreamed of that moment, and it was truly as special as I imagined it. And in a little while, when you take this walk across the stage, listening to the screams, I know this is a rowdy bunch, the screams of joy from those around you here to celebrate you, who have supported you on your journey, you'll feel it too. So it happens in a blink, and I urge you to take a big, deep breath up here. And when you shake hands and grab that diploma and smile for your picture, because you're gonna wanna remember that moment. Then I thought about what the theme of my speech might be, the typical teacher in me. And one thing came clearly to me, and it's the topic of perspective. This is going to be a bit of an interactive speech and requires you to participate at times. Sound good? Good, okay. I want all of you to think back to when you were 5 years old. Maybe some of you are 5 years old. What was the #1 question that most adults would ask you when it came to your future? Yeah, what do you want to be when you grow up? So imagine your 5-year-old self. For many, you chose something totally different than you would actually become. Popular answers would include doctor, teacher, lawyer, vet. What are some other answers? Astronaut. I love it. This is great. For me, the answer was always teacher. My mom and dad used to joke, saying I came out of the womb with a piece of chalk. I used to have a really ancient blackboard in my bedroom classroom, and I used to teach my stuffed animals. And every now and then, I would dress my little brother up in a purple tutu, and I would teach him too. I'm not really sure why the tutu was important, but I was 5. My perspective on that, what do you want to be when you grow up question, is a bit different now. Why didn't anyone ask me other things, like where do you see yourself living when you grow up? What kinds of people do you want to surround yourself with? What values will you have and will you honor? What kind of person do you want to be or be seen as when you grow up? I can tell you this, even though I became what I always thought I would, my current perspective on teaching is way different than it was when I was little, and way different even from when I started teaching. How many of you, by a show of hands, have a totally different perspective on your career now than you did from when you were little? Yeah. What about even from when you started college? The amazing thing about perspective is that we have the power to change and shift our perspective, sometimes even in an instance. So my daughter, she's 5, and she and I were playing Candyland. Do you know this game? Yeah. And I was just about to get to the Candy Castle and end the game once and for all. I was not afraid to take her down. I wanted that game to end. All I needed was a blue square. But what did I pick up? The candy hearts. You know where I went? You know where I go? Yes, back to the beginning. And I grunted, and I begrudgingly moved my little blue gingerbread person back to the candy hearts. And Juliana said, "Mommy, what's wrong?" And I said, "Oh, I have to go back to the beginning." And she said, "No, Mommy, you just get to play longer." I was schooled by a kindergartner. And just like that, she shifted my perspective. So I'm curious, what is your perspective as you sit here in these seats? Graduates, take a look around you at the people you are sitting next to. Consider your current perspective. Are they friends, acquaintances? Maybe you've never met them, yet they're sitting next to you on one of the biggest days of your life. Take a look back and around you at your friends and your family members. Go ahead, look at them. Yeah. What is your current perspective? Gratitude, pride, excited to come up and get your diploma. Maybe you feel like you're about to be sick to come up and get your diploma. Who knows? But I'm sure you're feeling many different things that will impact your current perspective. Now, graduates, think about your future and what that holds for you after walking across this stage. What is your perspective? Excitement, fear, a mixture of a lot of different things? Sometimes our perspective holds us back from doing things we want to do or think we should do. Other times, our perspective is what helps propel us forward. So I just want you to think about this for a moment. There are about 1,000 people in this room, give or take. And what if I told you that under one of your seats, I put something there for you, just one seat? So go ahead, check under your seats, see if it's yours. Yes! You got it. She got a chocolate bar. By the way, if you're allergic to chocolate, please give that to someone else. If not, enjoy it. Now, what's interesting, it's safe, I promise. Now, what's interesting is that one perspective could have been, well, there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance of my chair having a surprise, so the odds are against me. Why even try? But from up here, I saw just about every one of you reaching under your chairs to see if it was there. So maybe your perspective was a bit different, thinking, hey, I might as well try. It's either going to be there or it's not. And I relate this to your life, your lives, as you embark on your next set of journeys. You're either going to get the job or not. You're either going to get the next job or not. But we don't stop there because that perspective would limit us. We try again, and the most surprising thing is that the job we end up with, even if it's not the one you originally intended to get, just might be the one you were supposed to get. But that's just one perspective. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. Sometimes in our perspectives, we are afraid to try because our perspective is that we may fail. So remember, we have a common theme here. Another perspective I recently heard is that failing is a critical part of learning, that the word fail can actually stand for first attempt in learning. Think about the actors and actresses who shoot hundreds of takes until they get that scene just right. It takes a lot of determination to not just say, I quit, I give up, I can't do this again. But I'm so glad they did because let's be honest, what would we have done without The Big Bang Theory or Game of Thrones? So graduates, think carefully about your perspectives on life, whatever they may include. We definitely don't have control over much in life, that I can tell you from experience. But we can control our perspective. Even when it seems there are only two options, for example, the glass is half full or half empty, there's always another perspective, that being that the glass is totally full, half with water and half with air. Oprah once said that the smallest change in perspective can transform a life. What tiny attitude adjustment might turn your life around? So I will leave you with that, as my perspective of all of you right now is filled with limitless possibility, enthusiasm, and inspiration for how you will all lead and live in our world. Congratulations to the class of 2019.